Where in the world is Yoda Sugiego? Yoda Sugiego, where on earth can he be? Where on earth can he be? Oh, he's with L.I.J. I'm John Renton with my review, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 19 event. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. Yes, it's from the Tokyo Dome. It holds a lot more people than they actually got there, around 24,000 according to sources. That's good. I mean, it's down 3,000 from what they drew last year. And boy, I think Zack Sabre Jr. and Shota Umino should have gone another 50 goddamn minutes. Oh, Jesus. More on that in a bit. So, I'm sorry that I'm reviewing this hours after the event ended. I worked. I didn't want to get up early and watch this and then go to work. And also, Wrestle Dynasty is actually about to happen as I'm recording this. So that's why you're going to get these reviews back to back. There were things I liked on this show, and there were elements that worked. This is probably one of the blandest Wrestle Kingdoms I've seen in a while, though. I mean, and look, full disclosure, I've kept up on some of New Japan. I haven't reviewed it in so goddamn long. Partly due to massive burnout. Also, I can only cover so much damn wrestling, and some stuff on, weekly or, like occasional New Japan programming. While there's been some good, some stuff, House of Torture, Bullet Club, and just a lot of nonsense, it feels stale. It feels stagnant. So yeah, anyway, Walker Stewart and Chris Charlton aren't stagnant. They're very good. I like Walker Stewart. New Japan Rambo. I'm not going to take too long with this, but instead the KOPW title, because they retired it, which is probably smart because it got ridiculous. So the winner gets an IWGP World title shot. Josh Barnett was there. That's good. Bolton Oleg apparently skinned a polar bear for his hat. The crowd sounds good enough. I will say that despite the fact that, 24,000, at least they were around ringside and it worked mostly. Nagata got a pop. Elimination is by pinfall submission or over the top rope to the floor. Kenta got a pop. Yoshihashi got tossed out, so actually that bumped up the star rating a little bit. I don't hate Yoshihashi, I'm just bored by him. Yano's antics, I'm kind of over them now. I just am. What happened to Sonata? Remember when he seemed like he was actually going to be their next big star, and now they've got him as part of the Bullet Club Your Dogs. And him and Taichi apparently are just going to continue their feud. I mean, because Sonata left just 5 guys after getting recruited, and this is really bad. This Bullet Club stuff is really, really bad. Alex Zane was in there. He was in the final 3. Hiroki Goto gets a title shot in 2025. They are seriously depleted on star power. Video package. That theme is certainly a choice. Tanahashi's carrying a briefcase. He's in a choppa. Don't be a floppa. Get to the choppa. Okay, so we had Dermot Mulroney is what I'm going to call him, and Clark Connors with 4 very attractive women, especially the 2 that were in the front. My goddamn goodness, they look like pop stars. So, Dermot Mulroney and Clark Connors against Kevin Knight and Kushida, against Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita, against TJP and Francisco Akira. So it's a 4-way junior heavyweight tag team championship ladder match where they just did a lot of stuff. Kevin Knight is brilliant. I really am glad that he's able to shine here after seeing him on Independence, especially just in my area, wrestling this hard in front of 150 to 200 people, even on some shows in Seattle. Guy's very good. TJP, he has to wear goofy makeup and do the Miz stuff to mask the fact that he's just not very interesting. It was a typical ladder match where they did a bunch of bullshit, and Connors and Mulroney aren't bad. It's just the Bullet Club stuff. So, chairs got involved and a whole bunch of other stuff. Kevin Knight ended up crashing and burning a few times. And yeah, that was a little bit rough. There was more crash landings, and Fujita got both the titles to win. That's really what you're going to get here. If I didn't really care for the match, I'm just going to kind of cover it quickly and move on, because realistically, this show just felt muted. It was what it was. Nobody seemingly got seriously hurt. More on that here in a bit, but still, I've seen enough ladder matches in both companies, and I'm sorry, the Kenta Tanahashi match that they did a couple of years ago actually was pretty good when they involved in a ladder. That was decent for what it was, but I mean, good on Fujita and Eagles. Good on them. So TMD well, Zack Sabre Jr.'s group, the boys and everything, that TMDK didn't get the victory. You get the point. So, Mayu Iwatani against Azumi. Azumi apparently is an 11-year veteran. She's 22 years old. Stop having children wrestle that young. Seriously. I don't care what country it is. Okay, I've seen a little bit of Azumi. I've seen a little bit of Iwatani. It's an IWGP Women's Championship match. And one of the women that could potentially get a shot if she wins the 4-way at Wrestle Dynasty, Momo Watanabe, my goodness, I see why people praise her. She's got a really nice look. They cut a good pace here. My issue is this match was simultaneously rushed and also featured at least 5 near falls that should have been the end. So I thought they cut a pretty good pace and did some good stuff. For the limited amount of time that I've seen these women, they did well. Iwatani hit a nice splash. Azumi did a dive onto the pile. I think Starlight Kid was there in the pile. She's the one with the mask. There was a top rope stomp that looked like it really hurt. Some nice dueling kicks. There was one kick that just folded Iwatani like crazy. That was a good sell. A nice drop kick, a missed moonsault, the double arm, destroyer variation for just 2. I don't know why. There was, an arm trap, a German bridge, a roll up. We got a moonsault, but just 2. So it looked like Azumi might actually get the victory, but oh no, she got hit with a dragon suplex variation. 1, 2, 3, Iwatani retaining. This will likely build up to, I imagine, a Stardom show where Azumi gets the victory and wins the title. A show of respect afterwards. Fine for what it was, but again, simultaneously rushed and also a few too many near falls that should have been the finish. And then ELP, who beat Cancer. He actually stepped away from wrestling for a bit, made a recent return on their most recent tour just before they got to the Dome. And ELP is a hell of a goddamn talent, but you know what? Credit to him. That's tough to overcome. He was overcome with goddamn emotion, as you can tell. And he took on Jeff Cobb, who was also taking on Oiwa, who is channeling Tanahashi for no goddamn reason, and actually channeling him better. Anyway, so Ren Narita's there, because they're still continuing this House of Torture stuff. For Ren Narita, it's a 4-way TV championship match. Ren Narita's a TV champion, and it was what it was. I'm not saying Narita will never reach his potential, but it ain't going to be with the House of Torture stuff. Cobb does a big old dive to a pop. And then we got the Tower of Doom, 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 Doom. And a Dr. Bomb for 2. Oiwa, very, very talented. He has absolutely improved. The referee got pulled out before the Dr. Bomb got the victory. Cobb ended up breaking the board. Thank God. But then ELP managed to hit a senton to stop the Tour of the Islands. Hit a dive, hit a splash, Thunderkiss 86. 1, 2, 3. New TV champion, ELP. Feel good story. Good enough stuff. And it didn't overstay its welcome. It was like maybe 11 minutes bell to bell. So Evil gets a Castlevania organ-like entrance. They're trying with Evil. Evil is 37, going to be 38 soon. And they're trying with this stuff and it's not working. This House of Torture stuff ain't working. So Tanahashi gets a good reaction. He has said that Wrestle Kingdom next year, Wrestle Kingdom 20, will be his last one. Probably smart, especially after watching this. It's a lumberjack match. Tanahashi has a few people. And Evil has House of Torture, including Dick to Go. And yeah, this sucked. This sucked. This was bad. Tanahashi can't move. Evil has some skills. But even he's washed at this point. No. Eventually, Dick got involved throwing some powder because, of course, powderized Dick, as I called it. Everything is Evil got hit, but then Tana immediately hit a roll-up. 1, 2, 3. I skipped over a lot of it because this was really bad. This is Tanahashi's second to last match in the Dome. Provided that he has a retirement, the official retirement match next year. He apparently is like 2,800 something matches. 2,830 or whatever it was that Chris Charlton said. Fuck it. Keep wrestling on these goddamn shows. Wrestle on every damn show. You can't get to 3,000 matches. Wrestle in 8-mans. Wrestle in 10-mans. It counts. Hell, Baba was competing in multi-man matches into his 60s. Rest in peace, Giant Baba. So, yeah, then suddenly a beatdown happens because we cannot leave well enough alone, but suddenly Shibata and his new brain show up, and he runs them off, and Shibata gets a pretty good reaction and says, hey, Tanahashi, if you're not tired, how about you wrestle me? Shibata needs to stop letting his new brain make decisions. They're going to wrestle Dynasty, which is New Japan, AEW, Ring of Honor, and CMLL. So AEW and Ring of Honor, so it's 3 companies because Ring of Honor is under the AEW umbrella. So anyway, Takeshita got some good pyro and a pretty good reaction, all things considered. He's one of the few that has come out of, other companies that really does have potential to break out on the U.S. stage. Takeshita against Shingo, never open weight versus the AEW International Championship. I think it was title for title. I think that's what commentary said. Didn't need to be, though. The forearm exchanges were a bit of a decision because, I'm not saying clock somebody, but at least make it look impactful. So a DVD on the outside by Shingo. I don't know why. Shingo fires up the crowd. It's time, I think is what it is. I don't speak Japanese. And they drop each other on their heads. I'll say this wasn't as good as Shingo versus Cobb because I really did enjoy that match. That's from a couple Wrestle Kingdoms ago. But they did some good stuff. We got a bastard driver, 1, 2, or bastard driver, a wheelbarrow suplex. We got a Made in Japan for 2. And then we got a knee strike by Takeshita for 1. Blue Thunder Bomb for 2. Last of the Dragons, but Shingo can't make the cover. Is kind of a bit of a fumble there. And then Poison Rana is because we have to get that move in. I don't know why. And I don't know what the hell he calls it. The Twist Out Falcon Arrow, I don't know what he calls it. Raging Fire, I think is what they said in AEW. I don't know what they call it in Japan. 1, 2, 3. So Takeshita is a double champion and takes on Tomohiro Ishii later on. All right. So it was decent. It wasn't a great match, but it was at least enjoyable. So, Doki gets a Shogun-like entrance along with whoever Shingo Nakamura is. I think that's what the name they said. And Despy is in the ring. And look, it's Despy. It's Doki Doki Morning. Doki, who beat Despy for the IWGP Junior Championship, I believe. Junior Heavyweight Championship. Excuse me. And, well, they started fast. They hit some good dives. And then a few minutes in, Doki hit a drop kick to a crash outside. And his elbow went in a direction that nature and the gods above did not intend. And it was a referee stoppage. I felt so bad for Doki. I really hope that this can end up just being something where he's only out for a few months. But I'm thinking it's going to be a lot longer. I feel so bad for Doki. Despy was probably going to win anyway, but Despy won by a referee stoppage. And he's pissed. You can tell he's pissed. He's not pissed at Doki. He's pissed at the situation. I'd be pissed at the situation also because Jersey Shore sucked. But I felt so bad for Despy. I felt so bad for Doki. Because they actually were... It could have ended up being a 3.5. It could have ended up being the best match of the goddamn show. Could have been a 5-star match. Who knows? We're never going to know. I feel so bad for Doki. So, speedy recovery to Doki. 100%. Yota Tsuji dress up like Carmen Sandiego. Yota Tsujiego taking on David Finlay for the global title. Remember when they got rid of the Intercontinental title? Nobody liked it. And then they brought the global title. And nobody liked it. Yeah, they're still trying with that. David Finlay is a good worker. It's just him as a leader of the Bullet Club I can't buy. He's not a leader. It's not good. This is bad creative. Gato will pay for his crimes. Yota is good. That smile was very off-putting. I guess that's the idea. There was a Fosbury flop by Yota, but later he got put through the table. And then they milked that like crazy. They did some good stuff back in the ring because David can work. But the thing is it's just this went at least... It felt like it went 5 to 7 minutes longer than it needed to, and it really wasn't actually that long of a match. So, eventually he did hit an overkill, but that only got a 2 count. Overkill's pretty nice finish, I'll say. And then a powerbomb by Yota soon after, and a spear. Whatever blaster they call it. Gene Blaster? Gene Bradbury Blaster. There we go. That's how he got his kids. You're welcome. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3. So, Yota Tsuji wins gold, or global gold. I like gold. That was fine. Like, right result, but it's just, again, this David Finlay stuff. Hiromu is in some Tanuki mutated suit thing with giant nuts, or whatever. What was that? For those that know their Japanese culture, anime, whatever, let me know in the comments. So, Naito is taking on Hiromu Takahashi. Tetsuya Naito, who has had so many eye issues that he probably isn't going to be wrestling much longer. His knees are shot, his eyes are shot. So, I guess it's the first time ever, or at least the first time on a main stage. And look, LIJ explodes, Hiromu wanting to prove himself, because Naito got Hiromu Takahashi into New Japan and everything. Like, give him to me, I'll take care of him. They obviously knew each other well. They were trading some momentum. That wasn't bad. A neckbreaker delay by Naito. The thing is like, this had elements of good. There was a nice sunset bomb outside, but unfortunately there were some awkward spots that brought this down. Mainly because Hiromu is one neck drop away from being done. And, to be perfectly honest, Naito is basically just one, slight breeze from reaching his own destino. There was a nice time bomb for 2, and then Hiromu just won't quit. He kept getting hit, after getting hit with Destino, elbows that looked like they wouldn't have even broken a Fabergé egg, a shotgun, dropkick, but then we got, Hiromu Destino, so okay, a time bomb 2, but just for 2. A Destino for 2 is what, we're getting to where we're down to titty gritty. Hiromu grabs the leg like, no, Naito, please don't do it. You cannot hit. I think it was Stardust or whatever that twist is that Naito probably can't hit at this point. But Valencia and Destino, 1, 2, 3. There you go. And a show of respect, fine for what it was. It made its mark. It worked. It wasn't perfect, but so far we've had some good. And then Shota Umino comes out on a motorcycle. Red Shoes is the referee, and you had to imagine it was probably a pretty big thrill for Red Shoes to see his son in the main event. And Zack Sabre Jr. got a new theme. I don't know what the hell that theme was, but he's got corner people, all of his group. Zack Sabre Jr., the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, he won it a few months ago. But now we have Shota Umino, the new top babyface. It's the IWGP World Title main event, and the fans said, bullshit. They were not going to have any of Shota's stuff. It's not that Shota's bad, but the thing is they're trying to make him like a pure face like Tanahashi. It's not working. They don't buy it. They don't believe it. Nobody believes it. There was 24,000 people thereabouts booing the hell out of him. I'm not saying he didn't get any cheers, but even when he was trying to show an edge, show a bit more of a badass stuff, they're like, no, we're rejecting you. And they are rejecting him. It's bad. Zack Sabre Jr. is a joy to watch. Shota hits some good stuff. He's a decent worker. He will get better. But man, this isn't working. He hit the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen. Probably shouldn't reference that. But then, after we get the Ignition stuff, when we get where Shota might actually do something. No, he gets his leg snapped because, like, the leg thing that, Zack Sabre Jr. does on the neck. But eventually an ankle vice, and he gets to the ropes. Shota does. And he shoves the ref. He shoves his dad. No, Dad, I'll do this now. You booger. And he stomps Zack, and the crowd's booing more. He's starting to really get fired up and pissed off. But a Zack driver for 2, and then eventually a second Zack driver, 1, 2, 3. And a show respect, and then Zack Sabre Jr. is going to do what he needs to do to continue to be the champion and stuff like that. And that was 43 minutes. That main event was 43 fucking minutes. Bullshit. You can't make somebody with a match like that. When the crowd is booing, when the crowd is rejecting, you go home. And you say, we'll try later. If they had taken 15 minutes off, I'm not saying it would have been better, but it at least would have been shorter. That's Wrestle Kingdom for you guys, so let's move on to Wrestle Dynasty. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.